How's it going?
According to ABC 7 News, newlyweds Kiara Broken Bro and her husband Joel spent $500 covering her dress, venue, and reception. Her goal was to just be as minimal as possible, to spend the least amount of money as possible. She bought her dress from a fashion brand called Shine or Shane, which cost $47. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a dress because I had the mindset that I'm going to wear this one time for a few hours. They didn't have a permit. They did it in the Angeles Crest Highway, right, with the San Gabriel and Sierra Pelona mountains as the backdrop. Because they didn't have a permit, they only had to rent chairs and the arch, 30 to 40 relatives and close friends. Her family, god sister, and aunt, right, chipped in on the wedding cake. They did the receptions at a place called they did the reception at a place called Misty's Lounge. And the
Sounds
guests
like a
who
strip club.
came and the guests who came purchased their own food and drinks.
Okay.
She might be in the running for one of the greatest women to ever breathe air.
There's no comp that I'm aware of. I'll tell you that much.
It's another couple dope ladies. It's one specifically that talked about instead of trying to get child support from her baby dad, she just loaned him some money to help him start a trucking business.
mhm.
That she's there too. Well, that's for another day.
That was called a long money play.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
But
very smart.
Kiara is one of the five. Okay, I'm just gonna be nice. She's one of the 10 greatest women to ever live for that stunt.
Easily. She's
Top
one of the,
10
she's in
for
the
sure
top
of
10,
all women.
but she's
For
no
sure, she's top 10.
no way below fourth. I mean, you can
I'm
make
just
it a
saying, but
top
I'm just
10
saying
list, but
for
she's not
sure
below
she in the
fourth.
top 10. She in the top 10. And I've been to weddings. My homegirl Debbie Dev wedding was insane. It was at this ranch, you know. It was real nice laid. In and out truck come, food. The in and out truck came for the reception. Like you ate 2 or 3 times.
They did the in and out truck.
Yeah, they went all the way.
That's pretty cool.
People are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on weddings. 30 to $300,000 on weddings.
I went to one of those.
One of my homies is getting married, and him and his girl, right? They're trying to figure out what they're gonna do about their place.
Mhm.
Um,
Wait, their place to live or their place for the
their
wedding?
place to live once they get married.
Gotcha.
And instead of, I think he would like for her to say, let's minimize the wedding, right, to a small number and take the rest of the money, right, and
Mhm.
go get a place to live. And she doesn't want to do it because this is her dream day,
Yeah.
not the rest of the marriage,
No.
but just this specific day.
Because you don't get attention the rest of the time.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, women love attention. That's all that they ever want in life. They're all narcissists. Everybody knows that. If
Am I
I'll tell you what,
crazy?
if she invited her friends and family over every single day to the new house would be pristine.
No ceilings. GL, my man Peter and his Spizot going crazy. What's the most extravagant wedding you've ever been to?
By far, easily. I've been to some good weddings. My cousin, like my family, like my grandpa, has some money. My
Sure.
cousin married a lady whose dad has a lot of money, like hundreds of millions of dollars type shit. So we went to his wedding out in Colorado, and it was Yeah, there were ice sculptures of swans. It was at this huge, massive mega resort in the mountains. It had a live band with live dancers. It was ridiculous.
Where were they from?
Denver. The guy like built Denver. He was a real estate developer.
Wow. What kind of food was it?
Honestly, I don't even remember. There was too much going on.
I've been to 4 or less weddings in my life. I've been to 50 funerals, but I've been to 4 weddings. The homeboy
I've been to
Chuck
maybe
Dizzle,
6.
huh?
Oh yeah, I've been to maybe 6.
Yeah, the homie Chuck Dizzle married the homegirl Tasha. Chuck Dizzle, who works at 92.3,
Cool.
at LA.
Yeah.
So I went to his wedding. I went to Debbie Dev, who was my dog. I met Debbie Dev used to work at K-Day. Her husband plays football for one of those teams. Cool dude, though. Cool dude. I went to my niece's, Siobhan's wedding, right? She married a professional basketball player named Eugene Jeter, the homie Pooh.
Mm.
And I went to my homeboy who did probably 8-9 years in jail. 10 years in jail, somewhere like that. I went to his wedding.
Was it in
It was an
jail?
outdoor wedding. Huh?
He didn't get married incarcerated, did he?
No. He came
Okay.
home and got married like a year after.
Gotcha. Cool.
Those are the 4 weddings that I've been to. And when I tell you they were so different, but I just think about what a wedding really represents.
What do you think a wedding really represents?
I definitely think it's women's turn to have all eyes on me. I think they have a few moments in life where it's all eyes on me. Right? The baby shower is all eyes on me. The wedding, to some degree, is all eyes on me. And prom is all eyes on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Am I missing something? In the Latin community, excuse me, in the
I was gonna say the quinceañera for the Latinas.
yeah, they got a quinceañera, feel me? So that's another one. But I didn't even want to count that.
And if you're Jewish, the bat mitzvah.
Oh yeah. Yep. I just don't get it. Like, what's the point?
I mean, to some degree of scale, most of the time, women are just in the midst of inexplicable actions for the purpose of trying to gain unwarranted attention. And you're asking, what's the point? Well, what's the point of which part? What's the point of the wedding? Because the point of the wedding is what I just described. What's the point of what I just described? There isn't one. But if you ask them, that's the only point in life.
So it's just a natural wire for attention.
Yeah. Because men are producers and women are consumers. Saying it for years.
If you ever get married,
yeah,
what kind of wedding would it be?
It's going to be a wedding. I actually want to have my wedding at a graveyard because there's going to be an unnamed guest of honor at the wedding in the crowd who's been paid an obscene amount of money to assassinate me. So I'm already at the graveyard from my wedding assassination.
Oh, man.
It's on a grassy knoll. I don't know. At this point, probably not, no. I don't want to go on a dinner date, for Christ's sake. You're asking me if I want to get married?
You really don't want to go on a dinner date?
No, I wouldn't mind getting married if I could be an estranged husband. That would be cool. I wouldn't mind being defined as estranged.
So you would get married just to be defined as an estranged? What? You and women, man, we gotta We got to get the spokesman for women to sit down at a table with you because this shit crazy, man. I've never met
She'll
anyone
get demoted.
like, and honestly, Pete, do you hate women?
No, we had this episode before. We gotta get back to weddings.
I
We
know,
already
I
did this
know, I know.
episode.
I'm,
This
I'm
is a
just
sequel.
saying before we slip back, so I can see how to. I'm saying, do you have an extreme dislike for women's ways, or you just
I
don't want to be bothered with women's ways?
I understand. It depends on how. All right, in the context of me personally in my life, they're good for nothing. What they other than the sexual shit, I mean, really, you take that out of there. What are we doing? The rest of it's just an agitation. But in the greater scheme of humanity and society and everything like that, yeah, there's value there. I understand that there's a lot of value to the greater population and to other individuals. In the scope of my individual existence, it's pussy. That's about it. I'm sorry.
Not to cook meals,
No, I'm a better cook than most any woman I've ever met in my life. I like
not
cooking.
the companionship.
God, heaven, no. Fuck. That's the worst part.
The companionship is the worst part.
What part would be worse than that? If that's not the worst part, then what's the worst part? Exactly. I rest my case.
I don't think I don't know if the companionship is the worst part.
Then what's the worst part?
Having a companion is the worst part.
What would be the worst part then? What's worse than that?
In dealing with a wife or a woman or a wedding, like so certain parts I'll agree with, right? I'll agree. Women tend to want to turn what should be a Ferris wheel, right, as a relationship. They tend to naturally want to turn it into a roller coaster. I agree. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen that enough times. I don't know if it's because I interact with a ton of traumatized women. You know what I mean? Because from the community, but I have watched women turn Ferris wheel relationships, which that's how a great relationship should be, is a Ferris wheel. Should be a smooth process that got its high and low points, but it should go as a smooth circle, smooth sailing. And I have watched for sure and been a victim of them turning it into a roller coaster. So yes, I'll agree.
Right? As long as we're keeping the carnival theme, going with that. I'm gonna put a twist. I don't disagree with the roller coaster thing. I think that that's very true. I could also make a strong case that instead of a Ferris wheel, women want to turn a relationship into a house of mirrors, where everywhere they turn, they just see themselves.
Not even you in the picture with them?
Not if I have my way.
I'm saying they don't want you in that house of mirrors with them.
They probably do. They just want me to stand in a corner so that I'm not in the way of the mirrors.
I've said a relationship is, I said a marriage, right? So post a wedding, I said a marriage is a man walking with a woman walking, trying to find her way through life, and having a man to hold the flashlight.
Yeah.
As they try to discover who they are.
Dude, you know what weddings are like? Weddings are like Joe Biden press conferences. You have one handler walk her up to the podium, and then another handler grabs her real quick and then makes sure she's where she is, and then that guy walks her off. Otherwise, Joe gets lost. That's a wedding right there.
Joe gonna want your fade, bro.
Joe will forget it, but by the time it starts. He'll call me out.
So how could this woman, right?
Yes.
Be so selfless? Or is there a selfish motivation that we're not aware of?
Maybe she has, how you can get a vitamin that, like vitamin B, for example, that's time distributed.
Sure.
Maybe she has buffered time distributed selfishness. And she thinks to herself, you know what? I'm not going to spend all my money on these friends and family. I'm going to hoard all my money and spend it on me later. Which sounds kind of like what she said.
So then that means, so she still got the attention for free.
Yeah, she got the money and the Yale. She's a Tony Montana of brides.
Oh shit!
And right
What do
now,
you
that
know-
guy wish he was the one who got his head sawed into by a chainsaw.
Do you know anything about weddings at all besides that you don't want one?
Yeah, most of the weddings I go to, I'm in the what are the group of guys that are there with the guy?
Groomsmen.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I was the best
groomsmen.
man one time.
For real?
Yeah, that was a mistake. They got divorced.
Why was it a mistake though?
He shouldn't have asked me to be a best man. I didn't want to be at that wedding. I hate going to weddings, man.
For real?
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Is it too much happiness?
I don't like small talk with people. It's a lot of that shit. You always get stuck talking to a bunch of people you don't know, don't like, don't want to be talking to. Like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, but you actually formulate an opinion on that? Like, I don't think I've ever formulated an opinion on small talk.
It's most all of what you're doing there. Like, if you're there for 4 hours, you sit there, you watch the wedding for an hour, then you're at the reception for 3, talking to people you don't know, don't care about, and whatever the fuck. Like,
You never got a girl from there?
Hell no, I don't think so. Oh, no, not really. I met a couple girls at one wedding, but it was like a super Christian wedding, so that was a waste of time.
It was a super Christian wedding.
Yeah.
So that was a waste of time.
That's right.
Why the fuck would that be a waste of time, Pete?
Come on, baby, come on, fuck me real quick.
So you really feel like women are only good for just sex?
Not in the world. I know everyone wants to hear this, and I'm saying in the world. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying in the greater society.
In your personal existence.
To me, for me, there's not a whole lot else that you bring to the table. I asked girls, why? What do you do? What is it what am I getting out of this? There's no answers. There's blank stares.
Okay, I got you. What if a woman wanted to marry you, but she was a billionaire, so she could finance all your ideas? She brings something to the table.
I'm not dumb enough to fall for that shit. There's no way that then immediately they become her ideas.
That's any wealthy person.
No. Not they become her ideas on paper. As soon as she doesn't like the direction I'm taking my idea, it goes a different direction, that it's her idea now.
So there is no woman breathing air that you would marry.
At this point in my life,
Rihanna?
No. Hell no. Rihanna got knocked up. Jesus Christ.
What if she got one of them late abortions?
You want to know the coldest shit I'm going to say on this entire podcast series?
Don't even say it.
The audience might want me to. I don't know. Look, here's my rule on abortions to me. If you wait so long that the stretch marks are already there, you might as well keep it. Because you're good for nothing now.
Stretch marks?
You're good for nothing now. You wore yourself out now. You might as well just keep it.
You don't like stretch marks?
Not if they came from somebody else. No, I don't want to look at a bunch of reminder lines of the last guy's dick. I'm cool on that.
But do it matter?
Yeah, I don't want to buy a car with someone else's face painted on the hood.
It's not their face. It's just a reminder somebody else drove the car.
Every time I try to look at it. Every goddamn time.
That's what you see as stretch marks.
I offered to pay a girl that at the time I would have married like 10 grand to get an abortion because she was with another dude for a minute and wanted to come be with me, but she got pregnant. I'm like, man, I'll buy you a ring. I'll pay for it. I'll give you $5,000 cash, all that shit, whatever you want. She kept that motherfucker. Straight up. And a dude left her in like a week.
Bro.
Straight
You
up.
tried to bribe somebody's baby mama to get an abortion. So
It was super early. It was super early. It wouldn't have showed nothing.
Bro, you a sick nigga, bro.
Look,
sick.
I never said I was nice, man. You guys over there acting like, oh, how come you're not nice? Because I never said I was nice.
I didn't think you were nice or polite. But I didn't know you was this
I'm
sick.
polite. I'm well-mannered.
For sure you're well-mannered. But you actually are a white person.
That's right.
That was what you even say. What the fuck? It sounded like you loved her, so I guess that's how it worked.
Whatever. That's how it didn't work. I'll tell you that much.
I don't even know what to say, man. I ain't never. What's funny is you said some shit, cuz that I don't even know what to say sometimes. I'll be like, damn, how do I even respond to that? I just was thinking, like, I don't know, Pete. You're a different breed, dog. Different breed. You and Sugar Free, man. You and Sugar Free? Y'all some shit.
I'm telling you. Yeah, that guy.
It is weird though when people have these huge, giant weddings, and they marriage don't last.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
And then you see these people who don't have these huge weddings and they be married for 80 years.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what the correlation is, if there is one.
That's a good question. Because it has to be some kind of correlation.
Yeah, I mean, I look around at like people that I know, there isn't any. I've seen like relatives that did like the just did like the city hall marriages and that kind of thing. Then those didn't work. They were done in 18 months. And I've seen the big old blowout ones burn down too. And I've seen them both work. Like my grandparents went and eloped in like Yuma at some tiny, it was like the Vegas of the time back in the 40s or 50s or whatever the hell, some tiny little chapel that ran over there and got married, came back, till death did them part. I have no idea.
The weirdest shit to weddings with me is when you see a girl wear white. Now, sometimes I'll be thinking to myself, like, am I the only person here thinking, why is this woman wearing white? Like, and I'm talking about like I've only been to 4 weddings, so I'm thinking of who wearing white. I'm like, and they probably go hear this and cuss me out, but I was thinking to myself, like, this is such a lie.
It didn't help that you mentioned some of the weddings already.
No, right? It's only 4 of them, but it's like, why would you be wearing white? This is not a token color for a wedding. You feel me?
It's supposed to be emblematic.
Yes,
it's supposed to be emblematic.
So, yeah, it's
symbolic, rather. Yeah.
But I think sometimes that also is a problem, right? Because our whole life, right, we're taught that brides, like women, are like innocent. You know what I mean? They're innocent. They're like precious. They deserve to be looked after and cared for, right? That's how you kind of are brought into this world believing, oh, you should never put your hands on them. They are special, right? And then every day you're on planet Earth. For as long as you can remember, you start noticing that something about what people are saying is not either true or easily identifiable.
Oh, it's female propaganda, big time. It's just a bunch of lies being fed to us by women, or being fed to men who propagate them at the behest of women.
So one of the main problems is if you're a bride, if you're a groom, right, and you see this lady coming down the aisle, and she's wearing this white dress, she's with her father, you just staring at her, it almost sends off a false like sense of like what's about to happen. So now the average nigga, the average human being might not look at that deep, but that's what I see.
I mean, I don't think there's anything I can disagree with on that. You kind of almost are saying, wow, I have a big lie headed my way, and the whole family appears to be in on it because the patriarch of said family is the one handing the lie to me.
I just don't understand why they can't wear yellow or like a darker color. I mean, and if it was, if white signified pure in a wedding, a white dress, most of these motherfuckers should be wearing brown or black.
Well, if you ask the women who are wearing the dresses, all those other dicks didn't count. So they're virgins, because they, like I say,
I ain't never heard no woman say that.
The only person a woman is more comfortable lying to than you is herself.
Hey, I need to get you on with a woman, man, because you just really, and you know what? I can't just say you're crazy. That's my problem because
it's right.
I ain't gonna jump off that cliff because women do have more value. Now, what you find valuable is different, right? So I can't tell you what you found value in.
And I'm the exception to the rule. I'm a weird guy, and I know that. I know I'm
women have more value to me than vagina.
Of course, and I acknowledge that.
Just to me.
I acknowledge that.
Not to the world, but to me.
Totally.
So what else do you value of a woman if it's totally?
No, I'm saying I totally can understand based on knowing you.
Oh, me.
Where you're coming from. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, oh, wow, you're crazy, you're weird. No, not at all. I don't think that I understand that. That's normal.
I've ever looked at another human being. I mean, I guess some people it is only good for one thing. I guess some humans are, whatever that one thing could be.
99% of the humans I look at when I look around and see, I'm like, just good for nothing. Just in my way. Just in my fucking way.
I can't focus because you just really going right now.
No, I'm not. I'm not going. But when the monologue starts, it's evident.
I don't know. I just like I said, I question a lot of different things about weddings. Like, why do people who don't go to church do it in the church?
The same reason they wear a white dress. It's all about optics. It's all about your moment in the sun. Everyone's looking at you and staring at you. You want it to be right. You want them to think exactly of you what you want them to think of you.
So at that point, is that a conscious lie?
Yeah. You want to know how I know it's a conscious lie? Because who the fuck plans the wedding? Out of the two people involved.
Sure, the woman. But I'm saying, do you think they're aware that only a white dress signifies pure?
Women aren't aware of truth.
So they don't know truth exists.
No, truth exists as they see it. The only truth is of the multiple choice of options for perspective on everything. We're looking at it like false, false, true, false, false. And we go C. They're like, A, B, C, D, E. Which one makes me feel the best? B.
So you think when they're wearing these white dresses, they're conscious that they should signify pure, but they decide if I wear another color, it won't make me feel as good?
I think it's hard for me to swallow the idea that it doesn't cross their mind. I think that it's all about, well, I want to look and be perceived a certain way. This is my opportunity to paint my personality over an entire day in front of everybody that I know and care about, and even people that this idiot that I'm marrying knows. And that, I want to be perceived as prettier, better. I mean, you see the dress. I mean, they cinch their waist up. They got the fake band. Hey, they spend hundreds of dollars presenting themselves to make themselves look 10 times more attractive than they will the following morning. Of course.
So they
want to make it look like this other idiot lucked the fuck out. He got a moral, upstanding, gorgeous woman, and he should be down on his knees thanking God with all 100 of you idiots as my witness and his witness.
can't laugh because you this should get me in trouble every time. Hold up,
That's part
so
of the fun.
no, hold up. So they're consciously aware that the white dress signifies pure, or do they think just all brides supposed to wear white?
I think it's
Like because I
more
think
B
we
than A.
know the white is supposed to signify pure. That's what I'm saying. Is it a conscious lie?
I don't think it's a conscious lie, but I think it's a conscious omission. It's like the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It's like they're a little soft on C and B.
Oh man. Oh man. And then what's the church represent? Like if you don't go to church, right, every weekend, or this is not your church, what does the church represent in the grand scale of the wedding? If if you don't have God, if you're not going to the church for God to oversee your life,
Mm.
why go to the church for God to oversee your wedding? What's their thoughts at that point?
I think it's simply perception. We want to be perceived as good, moral, upstanding, God-fearing people. Well, this is a great optic for us. It looks very conventional and acceptable. And I also have to be here so that this idiot that I married can thank that guy over there on the cross a million times that he got such a pure and beautiful woman that I've dolled myself up into appearing like today.
Oh, oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man, not again. Oh. So you saying the whole wedding is just a great lie?
If it's not a great lie, then it's it's a great production. You know what it is? It's like,
It's a TV show.
yeah, it's based on a true story.
It's like a sitcom that's happening live.
Yeah, yeah, it's like if you go onto the Netflix and it says movies based on real life. It's not
It's
a
not real life.
documentary, but it's based on it. You know, it's based loosely.
Like
It's
at one time, she was a pure person who should be
yeah,
wearing a white dress.
yeah. We're summing her whole life up into one day. Starts with the dress. It ends with her half naked and drunk.
So it sums up her whole life the way she would like other people to see it.
Yes, it's a little bit of revisionist history.
So she's rewriting her narrative on this day.
Yeah, it's a great creative interpretation of reality in a based on reality Lifetime movie.
Oh. And what about the honeymoon?
The honeymoon? Well, I mean, shit. You owe me a vacation. Did you see all the effort that I put into making that wedding happen for you? Did you see how uncomfortable my hair and that dress was so that I could look good in front of your family? You owe me a vacation. I need to relax. I've been stressed out planning this wedding for the last 8 months. It's a well-earned vacation in her mind. Sorry, now it's a well-earned vacation with a great opportunity to take selfies at a expensive beach resort.
So is anything about it real? Is anything about a wedding real?
Yes,
What's the realest thing about a wedding?
the bill.
So what about that $500 or less bill that Kiara had?
Yeah, that is real. That honestly, I wouldn't have gone to that wedding. I don't like weddings. I'm sure as shit not gonna go to a wedding where you slap me in the face and say, "Come through here, and we're gonna have a checkout cashier so you can buy your own food at this reception of this wedding you don't want to even be at." So like that's pretty low rent. If they had done everything except ask the guests to pay for their own food, I'd have been like, this is the most unbelievable thing of all time. The fact that they didn't get the permit is the greatest thing of all time. They just thumbed their nose at the state of California and said, fuck you, I ain't paying you no fucking permits, you bunch of communist bastards. I'll stand in whatever park I want to, god damn it. I'm already paying for the license. Isn't that a permit? It's a license.
True.
I thought
But
that
the
was
fact,
fantastic.
so your issue is the fact she made the guests pay for their own food.
Yeah, because on the
Because at
spectrum,
least
you
if
go.
they sat through this shit, you should have fed them.
Yeah, and it's like there's like everything exists on a spectrum. There's obnoxiously overdone, and then there's obnoxiously underdone. That's a little bit, and then there's right where you want to be in the middle. They actually came down so far that they passed the sweet spot and were obnoxiously cheap.
So what should have they done for the food if they wanted to keep the bill low?
Whatever the fuck they want, but you got to provide it. I'm not big on inviting people to things and asking them to pay for it. Dude, I wouldn't even be here. You're asking me to be here. Why am I? I wouldn't
You
have
don't
done this
technically have
shit.
to eat, right?
No, you don't. You don't. But yeesh. I mean, I don't need to eat at the wedding because after that miserable display I just witnessed, I'm gonna have a hard time keeping it down. But most people, yeah, I get it.
Go ahead, most people.
Most people, they associate large social gatherings around food and drink. It's kind of a tried and true historical cultural
That's
norm.
normal though.
It is very normal. Very normal.
This is I don't know how we spun back. I guess because we're mentioning women.
We're talking
I
about
don't know how
weddings.
we spun back into this place of why would you wear a white dress if you're conscious that white dress is to signify purity?
That's
And it's funny because I just did a podcast and I was telling this girl, I was explaining, I'm like, makeup is like deceptive, right? Especially the
yeah.
way it's used today. So I'm thinking to myself, right there, women are doing something, whether they're trying to alter the contour of their face, the smoothness of their face, they're altering something.
Is
Is
it
it with a
legal?
conscious mind to deceive you, or it? And that's the
Yes.
thing because they're gonna
That's
always
a
say
yes.
they're always gonna come into a space where it's like I do it for myself, and that's
Fucking
kind of
liar.
my hardest. That's the one
Everything
point I don't believe.
everything that they do is for themselves, for fuck's sake. Of course they're doing it for themselves. They're getting you for themselves because they need a man, because they want you to be in their life. They want to be seen with you. They want you to pay for their shit. They want you to entertain them. They want you to accompany them. They want you to all that shit. They're doing that for them. Everything that they do is for them. And I know for a fact that they know it's a lie because I've tried to see girls that I'm cool with that I like, and they refuse to see me because their hair is fucked up or their makeup not on or whatever the fuck else they won't. Oh, I can't see you right now. I got to keep up this lie. Fuck out of here. It's the truth.
Yeah,
I mean, can I scratch off the serial numbers, change the color of the car, and roll back the odometer? No.
they don't roll back the odometer, do they?
Oh, you spray all that makeup all over
Sure.
your
So
face,
I
all that
guess I
shit.
guess
You're
if you
rolling
lift
back the
titties up,
odometer.
that's rolling back the odometer.
Yeah, all that work, all the face work, dyeing the gray out of your hair, putting all the spray on wet foundation on, and all that wet foundation they put on over that, and the foundation they put on over that, and then the foundation they put on over that to cover up all those wrinkles. You're goddamn right.
And that one day is the day where nobody's where is it no, that's not the day everybody's applauding those lies.
It's the day no one's allowed to call bullshit.